Barnes and Leslie are on vacation, but we've got the best of the Morning X for you right now on the original 99X.
Richard Branson is on the phone.
This is wild.
Richard Branson, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very unsuccessful businessman, Richard Branson.
Let's set up for those of you who...
We're struggling here.
Yeah, I think when you look in the dictionary under the word entrepreneur, your picture is right there. The man who started Virgin Records, the man who started Virgin Airlines, the mega super record stores. Now you have a new record label called V2. You've got this book out.
Internet services.
Yeah, Losing My Virginity, and the book just came out a few weeks ago. It's the life of Richard Branson.
Virgin Cola.
Richard, I saw you on an interview with Fox News the other day, and I thought you had some interesting things to say about how your style of business is, you compared it to how they do business in Asia. Here in this country, the large companies tend to stick with one particular area. Ford just makes cars.
Coca-Cola just makes soft drinks.
What's that? Coke makes soft drinks. But like Virgin, I mean, you're into every area of life.
You've definitely diversified.
Yeah, I mean, I think our attitude is, just personally, it's more fun and more fascinating to go into different industries, learn about them, see if we can turn them upside down and shake them up a bit, and rather than just sticking with one business. And what we find is that, if we can go into a new business and do it really well, I mean, if you say take the airline as an example, create the best airline in the world and something which we're really proud of, that then helps us with the next business venture, and the Virgin name gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's also more fun for our staff, who instead of just getting stuck in one particular slot all their lives, they can move on from one company to another and learn about new areas.
Richard, what project have you ever picked up maybe and thought, you know what, secondhand, I'm not going to deal with this, and put it back down?
I mean, I think that the only business that we wouldn't consider would be the cigarette business, because I just think the Virgin name is a young name, and we wouldn't want to encourage young people to start to smoke. But pretty well everything else I can think of, I think that as long as we can actually come and make a real difference, and as long as we can bring better value for money, a bit of fun and excitement to a business, then Virgin will tilt at it.
Have you ever had a business that's failed?
Not really. I mean, we licensed our name once to a computer company, and they basically just put no effort behind it, and we learned from that if we go into a business, we must make sure that we control it, we own it, and that we can and that we can create a real difference. I mean, there's no point in ever going into a business unless one can make the difference. I suspect the only exception to that actually is our move on Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Since it's Atlanta, might as well touch on it. Where obviously one soft drink against another soft drink there is not that sort of enormous difference. But what we find fun there is that Coke are the biggest brand in the world. And we just thought it'd be fun to see if we could give them a run for their money.
Talking to Richard Branson, brainchild of the Virgin Empire.
Now, Richard, you do a lot of things in a big way. When you launched Virgin Cola, you came out on a tank or something in New York, and it's kind of show busy, and I think that people are interested in that. Do you feel like your next move would be to conquer America?
Yes, I mean, I think America's there for the taking. So, and it's the land of opportunity. It's the land of entrepreneurs, and I think therefore America welcomes Virgin with open arms, and so we're moving into America with cinemas, with Virgin megastores, with the Virgin Atlantic Airlines. We're trying to get permission to fly an airline locally, and trying to get the law changed to allow us to come and compete locally, because airfares have gone through the roof, and we feel we can bring them down.
It's like Acme in those cartoons. Everything will be Virgin.
Right.
Everything around
the Virgin States of America is our aim.
That's right.
Now, I am disappointed because I was in London not too long ago, and your book over there, Losing My Virginity, you're naked on the cover of the book, and it's not like that here.
I don't think I was quite naked on the cover. I think the Sun newspaper might have run me naked in order with the book just covering the particular parts that matter. A very big book, of course, but Anyway, our approach to life is to have a bit of fun, and if you're going to go out and promote something you believe in, we will go to almost any lengths to make sure that people know that it exists.
When you were growing up and you had goals and aspirations, did you have dreams of becoming a captain of industry? Did you dream of being a millionaire by the time you were 30? What was did you have one particular goal?
I've never thought of myself as a businessman. I never had any interest in making money or going into business. What I wanted to do was to be editor of a magazine, and I launched a magazine, and in order to make it survive, I had to become an entrepreneur in order to deal with the distribution, the pressing, the advertising. And ever since then, I've gone into things where I think I can make a real difference, that interest and fascinate me. Obviously, I want to pay the bills at the end of the day, but the satisfaction we get is, if somebody flies Virgin Atlantic and they come off it and they say it's the best airline in the world, that's where I get my satisfaction, and all our staff who work for us get their satisfaction. And I think that there are some industries where we have made a difference, and we will continue to.
Airlines need to take heed from Virgin Air, because you guys definitely have it going on the airline. That is one comfortable airline.
It's an amazing experience if you've never flown Virgin before. Now, Richard, you told a funny story one time about how, I think someone had said, hey, have you ever flown coach before? Because, you own Virgin Airlines. And I think you told a story about you couldn't get on a flight and you actually did sit in coach. Is that true?
I normally fly in coach only because I think that, if it's good enough for my passengers, it should be good enough for me. But having said that, I also get up and about and like to talk to the passengers and talk to the staff. So I'm rarely actually sitting down. But I think that if you run an airline, it's important to it's important to show your fellow passengers that what's good for them is good for you.
How old were you when you made your first $1 million?
I was still a teenager.
Lord.
Well, you started your first business, 17, 18, when you started running the magazine?
I left school. I started the magazine actually when I was 15, and then left school when I was 16 to run it. And the magazine was my education. I had to learn the art of survival, and through running the magazine. And for 25 years, it was a struggle for survival. And I think the book is about what most business people have to go through if they don't have any money. It is a long struggle for survival, and having to deal with taking on the big companies, the battles they go to, the lengths they go to put you out of business, the problems with banks and so on. And it's only maybe in the last 5 years that we felt we'd finally climbed over that thin dividing line between success and failure.
More of this interview you don't want to miss is back in minutes on the best of the morning X 99X.
I'm Paula Pan. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible, because let's face it, money's too important to wing it.
What you'll hear is a couple money geeks sitting and talking about this stuff that we're so passionate about.
You name it, anything that's on your mind: retirement, debt, student loans, saving for college.
It's a personal finance journey. It is a wide-ranging squirrel conversation about the topic of personal finance and good financial planning. Super fun.
Afford anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.